Okay, so this is tape 1 of an interview with Hanna Goldkorn on August 22nd, 2004 at 5:15 p.m. So if you
New Jersey time.
Right, New Jersey time, East Coast of America. At the Lichtman residence, 31 Lakeview Drive, West Orange, New Jersey, 07052. So Grandma, if you could say your full name for the record and then spell it also, that would be good.
My full name is Hanna, Hanna, Goldkorn, Goldkorn, and I live at present in Jerusalem, Israel, for the past 20 years. No, ask.
Okay, well, I know that I call you Grandma Hanka, so what name does it say on your birth certificate?
Hanna.
It
Hanna
says
Goldkorn.
Hanna. So when did you start going by Hanka?
Well, Hanka, they called me since I was a little girl in Europe. So that's all my friends that know me from years back called me Hanka. My new friends call me Hanna, or the Israeli friends call me Hani.
Right. Was Hanka a common name in Poland?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
And what did Savta, your mother, call you?
Hanele.
Hanele. And your father?
Hankas most of the time.
Hanka.
Yeah.
And what was your maiden name? Your maiden last name?
Lenchitska.
How do you spell that?
It's not easy.
Well, how would you spell it in Yiddish, I guess?
Lamed, no. I write it down for you.
Okay.
Lenchitsky. Lenchitska. Lamed nun tzadik, yud tzadik, kav aleph.
You can even put that onto the camera for a minute. There we go. We got that on record. So even though we can't really spell it in English, we got it in Yiddish.
I can spell it in English, but it's all right. This is better.
Yeah. Okay. So what year were you born in?
I was born in 1926 in Poland, in a little town, Warta. It was not far from Lodz.
Is that what? Were there any other big cities right around Warta aside from Lodz?
Well, the big city was Lodz, and then there were other small cities like Sieradz, Wieluń, Stuńska Wola, a lot of little towns around the Lodz neighborhood.
What did Warta look like, and how big was it? How many people lived there? What did the houses that people lived in
I
look
think
like?
there were 500 Jewish families.
Was it only Jews who lived there?
No, Polacks a lot. Mostly the majority was Polish. The Jews were a small part of the town. And but we lived between the Polacks, and we did business with them. And they made their living from the Jews. And until Hitler came, we went to Polish schools. And we lived between them.
So you said there were about 500 Jewish families.
Yeah.
Did the Jewish families live in their own area, or it was interspersed?
No, not particularly, but yes, mostly they lived in, like families lived not far from one another. We lived like at the end of the city. Because we had a business, we needed a big space. We had a lumber yard. So we lived by the end of the city. It was a park after us. But the whole town was very small, so we could walk over the whole town. Not a long time. I mean, it didn't take very long to walk. We rode, when I was a kid, I was riding a bicycle.
How did you learn how to ride a bicycle?
Oh, My father taught me, my uncle taught me. Yeah. But when the Germans came in, they took away my bicycle.
Really?
Yeah.
And when you said your house was near a park. What kind of a park? Like a park where people used to go for picnics, or
Yeah.
like open fields? Or?
Yeah. There's trees and grass.
So, what type of lumber business did your family have?
We had the lumber business. We didn't cut the lumber ourselves, but my father used to go to forests, to places where they had a lot of forest, and he bought up lots of lumber and gave it out to be cut for the sizes we needed. We were selling to mostly to Polish people. They built barns from that lumber, and for houses also. So there were different kinds of cuts, smaller pieces of wood and bigger ones and wider and better qualities. It was different, and we had a few people working for us too. And my mother was active in the business also. The business, our house was on the spot, where we had the business.
So it sounds like your father didn't actually cut the wood.
He didn't cut it.
He was
no.
managing it more.
He was buying it because he could calculate from every tree how much he could get out. And he had it cut. We had already our people that did it. It was not in the same town. It was in a different town. And straight from the forest, they shipped the raw lumber to that. It was called the tartak, where they cut the wood. And then they shipped, when it was finished, they shipped it back to us. And we had to put it out and under we had like shoppers, I don't know how they call it, like with coverings, so it shouldn't be, when it rains, it shouldn't spoil.
And so you kept a lot of the wood behind your house?
Yeah.
And were your parents ever concerned that people would take the wood?
Well, we had a fenced in. The whole area was fenced in. And we also had, for the night, we had a watchdog running on a leash,
Really?
on a wire from one end of the yard to the next.
Do you remember what type of a dog was it?
Yeah, it was a big dog. Rex was his name.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. When the Germans came in, they took him away.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you used to play with him?
Not really, because he was especially a watchdog. He was, during the day, he was in a dog's house. We had like outside a special house for him. Yeah.
And even during the winter, he stayed outside?
Yeah. Yeah. It was closed. So.
And you were saying that there were about 500 Jewish families and then a bunch more Polish families, I guess.
Oh yeah, a lot more Polish families. More than double Jews. Sure.
And it was Jews and non-Jews living sort of in the same areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what type of houses or apartments did people live in? Did people live in apartments or only in houses?
No, in apartments. But some, families, a lot of members of one family used to live in the same neighborhood, like they were like big courtyards, and around were the houses. And in every house lived families. Families had like 6, 7 children, 5 children. Families lived close together. It was not very far to go from one place to another.
So
my grandparents lived in the same town.
Which grandparents? Your mother's or your
Both.
Both sets
My
of
mother's parents, yes, and my father's parents.
And did they live in the same house as you or in a different house?
No, my mother's parents didn't live in the same house. They had an apartment, not far. But my father's mother, because my grandfather died very young. So after he died, my father was like 15 years old when he died.
And did he have other siblings?
Yeah, there were 7 children.
Were they older or younger?
He had 2 older brothers that were married already by the time my grandfather died. And then was my father, he was maybe 15 then. And he had to support his mother because she had a baby. She just gave birth to a baby.
Wow.
Just before my grandfather went to shul to daven in the morning, and he got a heart attack. My grandmother was at that time, she had a 2-week-old baby. So my father was the one that had to support the family.
So
And that's how he learned this trade. He was working for somebody in this trade. And he learned it. Then when he got married to my mother, he knew the business. In the beginning also he worked for somebody. Not later on when he could already get a little money, then he went in business. Yeah. And thank God they were successful and made a nice living. Then my grandmother moved into us.
Once your father got married?
Yeah.
How old was he when he got married?
My father, my mother was 19, he was maybe 21, 22.
And he had been working since the time he was 15?
Yeah.
Did he go to school before that?
He went to Cheder.
What does that mean?
Cheder is where the boys usually used to go. And they were learning, to read Yiddish, to learn how to daven, to learn Chumash, and when they got older, they learned the Gemara, and then when they got still older, they were sent away to other towns, to bigger yeshivot to learn. But my brothers were still very young. I was the oldest. So they didn't have a chance to go to any higher schools.
Right. And your father went to Cheder, but he also didn't go to any higher?
No, when he was younger, he went to Cheder. Yes. No, he learned to daven, to all these things, Chumash, Gemara.
And was that in addition to a Polish school also, or?
Boys usually didn't go to Polish schools, the more Orthodox one, because there was no Jewish school. But usually there were teachers, they came to the house and were teaching secular things, like math and reading and writing Polish.
So was your father able to read and write in Polish?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And also in Yiddish?
In Yiddish, sure, very well.
Did he speak any other languages or just Polish and
Yiddish? Yiddish and Polish. He didn't learn, that time he didn't know English. That was not very common to learn a foreign language. Only, I think in high school you had to take a foreign language. But until then, people didn't know. The Polacks were only speaking Polish. And we could speak Polish and Yiddish. And some people knew German how to speak also. And some of the older generation still remembered some Russian. Because at one time Poland was on the Russia, sometimes it was on the German.
Right.
It changed.
Right.
So, but in my times there was only Polish and Yiddish what we spoke at home.
Right. And was your Was your father also born in Varta?
Yeah.
So he grew up there also?
Yeah. He was a second cousin of my mother. They both had the same last names.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So your mother didn't change her name when she got married?
No.
And so I guess they knew each other.
The same like Hanna and Rezel.
Right. They were also second cousins, right?
Yeah.
So, and how are they related to you?
Oh.
Hanna and Rezel.
Hanna was my mother's first cousin.
Okay.
My grandfather and Hanna's grandfather were brothers.
Okay. Your mother's father.
Yeah.
And
Hanna's father.
Father's father.
Yeah.
Were brothers.
Her brothers, yes.
And then Hanna was cousins with Reza.
Yeah, second cousins.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they got married.
Yeah. My mother also was like that, second cousins.
And so your mother was also born in Varta?
Yeah. Actually, no. My grandmother, on my mother's side, she was living in Lodge. But the first war broke out, 1940. My mother was born in Lodge. But then was the war, and during the war it was very hard to get food in the bigger cities. And my mother's family had a family in our town. So they came to Varta, they moved. And they settled in Varta, and that's already how they lived in that town since they didn't go back to Lodge. I mean, they went back to visit and for business, for other things. But the other children were already born in Varta.
Your mother's other siblings?
Yeah.
Was she the oldest?
She was the oldest. And she had 3 brothers.
Who were younger?
Yeah.
And what year was she born?
My mother in 1906.
Oh, so she was 20 when she had you.
Yeah.
And she had gotten married at 19.
Yeah.
And wow. So she was very young.
Yeah.
She got married. And so your mother went to Polish school when she was?
No, she had a teacher coming to the house. Because it was not fashionable for Orthodox girls to go. When I went already, I did go to school, public school. And in the afternoon, we had a Beis Yaakov for girls.
Where was the Beis Yaakov?
In town. Yeah, it was, for Sora Chernirer, you heard about her. She was the founder of the Beis Yaakov schools in Poland. So we had a Beis Yaakov school, and a lot of the Orthodox children went after public school. We went to the Beis Yaakov every day.
So how big were your public school classes?
I don't know. I've never counted them.
Was it like 20 people, or 10, or 50?
Probably around 25 or more. I don't remember.
And were a lot of the kids in your class Jewish, or some of them?
Some of them, yes. Yeah. I have some Jewish schoolmates, sure, boys and girls.
And then, so the ones who were in school with you, did they all go to Beis Yaakov afterwards with you also?
Yeah.
Was Beis Yaakov every day?
I think it was every day, I'm not sure. Not Friday, for sure not.
Right.
But we only was going from Monday to, I think it was every day. We were learning to write Yiddish and to read, and we learned Chumash and davening.
Did you have books for all those things?
Yeah.
Or you learned it by?
We had books and notebooks we had to make homework. Sure.
So what time, it must have been a very long day if you went to regular school and then to Beis Yaakov afterwards. So what time did regular public school end, and what time did?
Started at 8 or 8:30 in the morning, And it finished like maybe 2 o'clock, 1:30.
And
I
then
don't remember for sure what time. And then in the afternoon we went to the yeshiva, to the Beis Yaakov.
And when you were in the Polish school, in the regular public school, did the kids in the class know who was Jewish and who wasn't Jewish?
I'm sure they knew.
And how was the interaction between people?
Well, it was not very comfortable, but all right, we got along.
What do you mean by it wasn't very comfortable? Can you
Because
elaborate?
it was a Catholic school, you know, the Polacks, they are Catholics. And they had to say the prayers in the morning. And they had like a cross on the wall.
And so what did the Jews do when they said prayers in the morning?
Well, we didn't say it, but we had to stand and it was not very convenient. In the bigger towns, they already had like Jewish schools, like private, like here they have the yeshiva. And they had schools like that were just for Jewish children. There was a Mizrahi school, like Grandpa he went to a Mizrahi school.
So he went to a school that everyone in the school was Jewish, and they taught both secular and Judaic studies?
Yeah.
And the secular studies in his school, were they taught in Polish? Or in,
Polish.
And the Judaic studies were taught?
Yeah, in Hebrew, or it depends.
Oh, he learned Hebrew also?
Yeah, your grandpa, yeah, he learned Hebrew.
Right, I remember.
It was a Mizrahi school.
So he knew Hebrew from when he was younger?
Yeah. Then he went also to Cheder to learn like Chumash and higher things.
And in terms of when you were in school, in the regular Polish school, did aside from like the official prayers that were Catholic and things like that, were there other types of discrimination that you felt? How did the other children react, or was everyone friends with everyone?
Sometimes the Polish boys started, kidding, the Jewish girls, or the Jewish boys. Sometimes they were fighting a little. Żydy, Żydy means Jews, Polish. There was anti-Semitism in Poland. But we had to live with them, so that's how it was.
And do you remember what the interaction was like between adults in the community, between Jews and non-Jews? Did your parents have any friends who weren't Jewish?
Yeah, our neighbors, yeah. My mother was very well liked. We had neighbors, but we did business with them, and they were some friends. I mean, we thought they were friends. We didn't, associate with them, we were very kosher, and the Polacks, they were goyim. We wouldn't eat by them or something like that. They could come to us and have something, like a piece of cake or some l'chaim. They like to drink. Yeah.
So do you remember that happening, having people, like your non-Jewish neighbors, coming over?
Well, we had a lot from our customers when they came. Mostly the Polacks that came to us, they were from out of town, from little towns around, from villages around. So when they came, we always gave them something, some food. And,
And do you remember what the inside of your house looked like?
Well, we had a pretty big one. It's just for our family, one family. We built it. My parents built it by themselves from the lumber what we had.
Wow.
Yeah. When they moved into the house at first, they didn't even have finished it.
Really?
Yeah, without doors, without windows, but they moved in and little by little they finished it. And we had like a big kitchen. This was in Europe, we used to have big kitchens. A big stove and the heating stove for the winter, a coal stove, you know, to heat with wood and coals. And we had bedrooms, and a big living room and a dining room together. And bedrooms.
Was it all on the same floor?
Yeah.
How many bedrooms did it have?
Well, we were 5 children. There were 2 in each room. We have 2 or 3 bedrooms, and my parents. 3 or 4 bedrooms. And living room, kitchen, and then we had like a porch room. For sukkahs, we had to pull up the roof for a sukkah.
So you had a roof that was able to be
able, yeah, we were able to pull up. Yeah.
Very technologically advanced.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
We had our own pump for water outside.
Inside? Oh, outside the house.
Outside the house. Well, not everybody had that. Poland was not so advanced like in Germany in my time. Now maybe they have more, I don't know. It was not a very rich living in Poland. A lot of people were poor, a lot of poor people. Yeah. Today maybe it's better in Poland. There's no Jews there.
You were telling me, I think yesterday, about the bathroom in your house, which wasn't really a bathroom inside your house.
It was an outside.
Right. Could you tell me about that?
It was an outside. You had to go out. It wasn't so advanced yet in our little town. The bigger towns already had. Their grandpas, when they moved in a new apartment, they said by them it was already a running water bathroom.
They had running water in their bathroom and I guess in their kitchen also.
Yeah.
But yours was only in
ours was not. No.
So what did the outhouse look like, and how far away was it from your house?
Not very far. A few meters.
And what did it look like? Can you describe an outhouse? For those of us who have never used an outhouse before.
How can I describe it?
Well, you were telling me about it the other day. It's a big hole in the ground, you said?
Yeah.
How deep was the hole? Did anyone ever fall inside?
I don't remember. I don't think so. The little kids didn't go out.
So where did they go to the bathroom?
They probably had a potty or something.
That you then took out afterwards?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Look, it's so many years ago already. I don't remember myself because I think that everybody had real bathrooms like here.
Right. Everything blurs
I
together.
can't imagine.
Yeah, not having a toilet, especially now in the winter.
Yeah, today people are spoiled. They think everything was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did people shower or bathe? Did you have a bathtub inside the house somewhere?
Yeah, we had not a bathtub, we had like a wooden big
like
tub.
a barrel.
Like a tub, yes. And
so
we had to heat the water.
You heated it on the stove and then you poured it?
Yeah.
How often do people take
Well,
baths?
people didn't take showers every day. Maybe once a week.
Really?
For little kids, we had a special, bathing tub or something. Yeah. It was not so comfortable. I mean, there were not so many conveniences like today.
Yeah.
You had to do everything by hand. When you cooked, you had to do You had to peel the potatoes, you had to cook them, you have to mash them, you had to, you made meat, you bought, raw meat, and then you had to kosher it yourself.
So what did you do? Where did you buy meat from? Was there a shochet near you?
Sure. I had a shochet. We had 2 shochets in our town. We bought chickens from the Polacks, live chickens, and we brought it to the shochet. But to us, the shochet came in.
To your family?
To my family, because we had many, and we had a lot of live stock, like chickens and kachkis, ducks.
This was your family had, or did you buy a lot of them?
We had the customers that came in to buy from us. They had farms, so they always brought us, instead of payments, they gave us chickens, ducks, geese. And we had in our backyard, we had how you call it, where you keep them,
like a
cages,
pen.
like pen. And when we needed to, we shechted. The shochet usually came in, and it was not for one chicken, just was for a few at a time.
And then your mother would cook all of them, or did you?
My mother would kosher them and then cook them, and we would eat.
Sounds like a long process.
It was a long process, but people didn't know of anything different. And it was good. It was healthy food. It was fresh and healthy. There were no refrigerators like now. Everybody had a cellar.
Downstairs?
Downstairs, a cellar. And that was our refrigerators. You kept the food cool.
It stayed cool even during the summer?
Yeah.
How was it built? What were the cellars? Were they wooden, and how did you get down there?
There were steps to go down.
And were they?
And on the top you didn't recognize there was the floor. When you needed to go, you opened up the cover and you went down.
And what type of things did you store there?
Oh, we stored there for the winter potatoes, and we used to make from fruits all kinds of jams and jellies, We stored there, and what else? And meat, probably too. In the winter was no problem. You could even keep it outside. It was so cold in Poland in the winter. But for the summer, and eggs, and I don't know what else we used to storage. Everything that we needed.
Did your family grow their own potatoes and have their own eggs from the chickens and things like that?
Chickens, we had eggs, yeah, but not enough for the family. We had to buy. Yeah.
So where did you buy the stuff from?
There were places in town where they were selling them, and also from the Polacks. They used to bring in. They used to bring in to us fish. We had rivers. In our town was a big river, and they used to catch fish, and then they brought it in to us, and we bought. And that was for what we cooked. There were carbs and whitefish and other kind of fish. Food was good. In Poland there was plenty of food because the ground was good. They grew.
Do you remember cooking ever with your mother, maybe?
I cooked when the war broke out. I was the cook in the morning. I cooked breakfast for the family. Yeah. And we even baked our own bread.
So you know how to make your own bread?
We had an oven, special oven for bread.
Really? How is the oven different than a regular oven?
Like in a bakery,
Really?
Not so.
Like one of the rounded?
Yeah, not so big, but for our family we baked cakes and chalis for Shabbos and bread.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So So you know how to braid challahs and stuff too?
Yeah, my mother used to braid challahs, but I knew how to make lakshan,
Uh-huh.
how to vargle
Uh-huh.
and cut.
And how did your family, how did it affect your family not to work on Shabbos? Was it difficult to not do business and things like that, or?
No, there was no question about Shabbos. Almost nobody from the Jewish people had stores open on Shabbos in our town.
Mm-hmm.
In the bigger towns was different, but in our little town, they were all Shomer Shabbos, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say 90%.
Uh-huh. And what about, were they open on Sundays?
On Sundays we were not allowed to be open.
Uh-huh.
Polacks that was their holiday.
Uh-huh. So was it like a government rule that it couldn't be open, or it was just?
Oh yeah, it was a governor, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. So no one ever opened their stores on Sundays?
Here you would get a fine if you would open.
Uh-huh.
You were not allowed.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, I think earlier, something about a shul. Was there one shul in
we
the
had
community?
one was a big shul, the main shul from the city, and then there were little stiebels.
Uh-huh.
Like my father went to a stiebel,
Uh-huh.
my grandfather, they went to stiebels
Every day they went, or on Shabbos?
every day, every day. And there was the big shul, which had a chazan and a rabbi, and the women mostly went to the shul. But they didn't go every Shabbos in Poland. They went for Kodesh Benchen.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday night, the women, I don't remember any women going Friday night
Mm-hmm.
to shul.
Mm-hmm. Did your father and your grandfather go to the big shul on Shabbos, or they went also to the shtibels?
No, they went to the shtibel. My father was a Sochachov chassid.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sochachov.
Sochachov? Sochachov or chassid?
Chassid, yeah.
What did that mean?
He had a rabbi. I mean, there was a little town in Poland, the name was Sochachov, and there was a big rabbi. And my family was associated with that rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
And for once a year, my father used to go for Shavuos to the rabbi's house
Mm-hmm.
and spend there the Shavuos.
Did a lot of people do that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there were different kinds. There were Gere Hasidim. You know, they're now in America too.
Right.
There
Right.
was Gere, like my cousin Mina, her family were Gere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they belong to the Gere people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there were a few steeples. Sochachov was a Gere, was a Mizrahi,
Uh-huh.
Mizrahi steeple.
But Mizrahi wasn't Hasidish.
Was not Hasidish, no.
Uh-huh. So what was the difference between the Hasidish, let's say, like the different Hasidish sects and the
There was
Mizrahi?
no difference with the observing. Only let's say the Mizrahi, they believed in Zionism.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of Mizrahi people. They went on Aliyah, they went on Hakshara.
Mm-hmm.
They were Chalutzim at first. They were trained in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to Israel,
Mm-hmm.
to Palestine it was that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did the Hasidim feel about Israel?
The Hasidim, they were feeling about Israel, but they were not, they were not sending people out to live to Israel those days.
Mm-hmm.
There would more Hasidim go to Israel before the war, they would much more remain alive.
Mm-hmm.
But the Aguda already were sending, like Chalutzim to Israel, to Palestine before the war.
Mm-hmm.
Like Henoch's brother, the oldest, Yitzchak, he went already in 35 or 36.
He was part of Aguda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to Israel, and he stayed there. He went on Aliyah. It was very hard life those days in Israel. Very, very different. Netanya was nothing that time. It was all sand and water.
Right.
They had to build up from the sand. They had to work very hard. And they had to do all the work. It was not easy.
Do you remember if your parents ever spoke about moving to Israel?
Yeah. My mother was a very big Zionist. You remember your Savta?
Yeah. How did she know about Zionism?
Wow. Because she knew they were already a little more modern.
Your parents were?
Yeah.
Were more modern than their parents had been?
Yeah. But they believed in Israel. They did, they really did. They would make Aliyah. My mother would go even before the war, but then the war came, and then, had children, young children. You couldn't pick yourself up and go. It was not easy. But thank God she lived to go to Jerusalem and enjoy a few years there.
How many, sorry, were you saying something?
Yeah. No, I wanted to ask.
How many children were in your family?
In my family, we were 5. I was the oldest.
And how old were your siblings? What were their names?
Like my sister was 2 years younger. Her name was Helen.
Helen, who my mother is named after.
Right. And my 3 brothers. One was Avram Yitzchak. He was 2 years younger than every 2 years we had, like, he must have been when the war came out. She was 10, 11. So he was maybe 9, 8. I know my youngest brother was 3 when the war broke out in 1939. My last, before the youngest, Chaim Yitzchak, he was maybe 6. And the youngest was Avram David. Jeremy is named David after. So we were 5 children.
And you were in school before the war began, right? What grade were you in?
I didn't finish too much school because during the war I couldn't go. The Germans wouldn't allow the Jewish kids to go to school. I was maybe in 6th grade.
And were any of your siblings in school also?
My sister was too. She was younger, so she was 2 grades lower than me.
Did she also go to the Beis Yaakov?
Yeah. And my brothers didn't go to public school yet. They were by Cheder.
They all went to Cheder?
Yeah. Well, not the 3-year-old didn't go yet.
Right.
I mean, but the 5, 6-year-old, you had a chumash, so in Poland you had, by 5, you brought a boy to Cheder, and they made a chumash siddur. And he was 5 years old.
And was he able to read already?
Not really, but he could daven. He could, read the Jewish alphabet, Yiddish. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Kametz Alevov, Kametz Alevov.
Like they learn in Kiryas Yom.
Yeah.
Do you remember if your brothers had long hair until they were 3? Did they do the? Yeah. They did.
They cut the hair off by 3. Yeah. In fact, my mother, from the last to the youngest, and his hair was cut off. My mother had it in the bag. He had blonde curls, beautiful long blonde curls. He was a beautiful boy. Had blue eyes and blonde hair. And my mother had this bag until we went to the ghetto. She carried it with her.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
These are just memories.
you said that your father was a chassid. I forgot how you say that.
Sochachav. Yeah.
Was
My father had a little beard, yes.
really? What
Yeah.
did he? What type of clothing did people in Poland in general wear? And people, I guess, what did the Jews wear? Did they wear different clothing, even
Yeah.
if they weren't Hasidic? Or
And if they were not Hasidic, they were like modern
Mhm.
here. But if they were Hasidic, my father wore like a kapota, three-quarter coat.
really, all the time,
Yeah.
even in the summer?
No, in the summer he didn't walk around with the coat. If he was working, it was warm.
Mm-hmm.
At work he didn't wear it, but when he was going out, yeah. And for Shabbos he had like a silk, like a silk robe.
And did people wear a kippah at that time?
Yeah,
What kind of?
mostly a hat.
What kind
Mostly like it was a Jewish hat, like a Yiddish shidl.
Like the shtreima?
No,
Or not for
he wasn't there in the story.
like a black hat?
No, it was like you wear today even this a cap. Cap, yeah.
Like a baseball hat more?
Not with such a big shield, no. No.
Like the kind
was like-
Grandpa used to wear, like a little brim in the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
And did the Polacks that lived around you also wear hats like that, or not really?
No.
They didn't wear anything.
No.
And your father had a beard. Did he have payas also?
No.
Did other people in the town have, or no one really?
Yeah.
Some people had payas. The big curly ones?
Not so big like Meir Shiori.
But they had?
A hat?
They
A
had
hat?
some
Some
payas?
had, yeah, some had pants. But they put them mostly in the back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what about the women? Did the women dress differently, or they dressed pretty similar?
My mother covered her hair.
She did cover her.
Yeah.
With what?
It's a tichel or a beret.
Mm-hmm.
And she also had the sheitel.
Really?
Yeah. For Shabbos or Yom Tov, she wore a sheitel.
What was it made out of? Was it real
Of
hair?
human hair, yeah.
Really? Where did she get it from?
There was a sheitel-macher in town.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Did a lot of people wear sheittles?
Most all of the women had the hair covered.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. They must have been expensive.
The sheitel was expensive, yes.
Wow. And when did your father's family become part of the Sachlever?
I guess my grandfather became.
Uh-huh.
One of the brothers was a Mizrahi, like Reisel's father. He
Uh-huh.
was Mizrahi.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
And was it acceptable was that like a point of tension between?
Well, not really, but that was already the more modern.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He had a beard too, but I mean, he was going to the Mizrahi shtit.
And what about your mother's family? Were they also Hasidim?
Yeah, they were like my father.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my father, after he got married, he became a Sochachav Chassid.
Oh, so he wasn't before, even though his father was.
His father was maybe also a Sochachav. I didn't know him. But his brothers were Mizrahi.
Uh-huh. Interesting. And you said your sister's name was Helen. Did she also
Chaya.
go by Helen? What did
She didn't call her. She was still young. She wasn't married yet.
No, but what did your parents call her? What did Savta call her?
Hayla.
Chayla. But in school.
Hela.
And in school, how did you get called?
Hanka.
Hanka. More than Hanna. And your younger brothers, do you remember what your mother called them?
Sheila. Yehoshua. Sheila. The other one was Chaim Yitzchak, we call him Chaimek. And the youngest was Avram David. Call him Avramek.
And when you said that mostly the women, if they went to shul, they went to the big shul. Did you ever go to the big shul?
Yeah, I used to go with my grandmother.
And your mother?
My mother always had a little child in the house. So, that was not the style. You couldn't go out with a carriage. That you weren't allowed to carry.
Because there's no Eruv.
No, there's no Eruv. So usually she was home only on those Chodesh bench and for the high holidays. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Yes.
So what did she do with the children on like Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur?
No, on Yom Tov you can't carry.
Oh, right, that's true. Right.
For Yom Kippur, maybe she got somebody to babysit, one of the Goyish neighbors or something. Super was a boy and we had a Goyish we had like a nanny for the children.
Really?
In our house, yeah.
Who lived in the house with you?
Yeah. Till the war broke out.
Did she have how old was this woman?
She was old already. She was with us since I was born, till the war.
Do you remember her positively?
I remember her an old woman. We called her Valchikova. She raised all the children, yes. And my grandmother did the cooking.
And your mother was working?
My mother was helping my father, yes, in the business. Yeah. She also went out of town and when to check how the work comes along and we took orders, so we had to deliver them. So sometimes she had to go and see if it's going to be on time.
Right.
Yeah, she went. She traveled.
How long did she usually travel for when she went?
Oh, it was not by taxi or by train. It was by horse and buggy most of the time.
Did you have your own horse and buggy?
But it took time. Connections were not so good. So it took time.
And the woman that was your did she? What language did you speak in the house, and what language?
Polish.
She spoke in Polish to you, and what language did you speak with your mother and your father in?
Polish and Yiddish.
Was it more? Do you remember if it was more Yiddish or more Polish or a mix?
In the house we spoke Yiddish. Outside, between when the goyim were there, we spoke Polish.
Were you more comfortable in Yiddish or in Polish?
Both the same.
And what about like with your Jewish friends? Did you speak to them in Polish or in Yiddish?
Everybody knew Yiddish in our town. Well, we spoke Yiddish most.
Okay, so we're starting to record again. We're continuing where we left off. And one of the things that I was thinking about that I wanted to ask you was if you remember singing any songs when you were little.
Any particular songs? I really don't remember. They were all Polish songs. And, some Hebrew, you know, like Hava Nagila maybe, and something like that.
Did you ever go to any weddings when you were little?
The weddings? They were not weddings like they have it now here in America or in Israel. They were mostly families.
Who went to weddings?
Yeah. And they were not in such big halls. Usually they were like in somebody's house. There was music and there was food and everybody was happy. Mazel tov and mazel tov. But I really don't remember because no, I don't remember my family. When I was young, they didn't take children along. And then, no, I don't remember anybody particularly that I went to a wedding. People got married, but you know.
Right. They must have been getting married.
Yeah. But were not very, very big weddings. Maybe in the bigger towns they had more, you know.
Right.
But in our little town, don't remember.
Well, what about the song Yamala Yamala that Mommy sang to me? How did, and you must have sang it to her, so how did you know it? When did you start to sing it?
Well, I guess my mother or my grandmother was singing to me. Yeah.
Were there other songs like that she used to sing to
Well,
you?
like lullabies, you know. Schlaf mein schönes Mädel, schlaf. And sag es und, you know, children's songs when you sang, when you put them to sleep, when you played with them. Yeah.
So you remember, what, do you remember any others? Yamala and Schlaf mein Mädel?
Yamala, Yamala. Schlaf mein schönes Mädel. There were songs. There were lots of songs, Jewish songs.
And do you remember when you sang them, was that a positive thing? Do you remember, you said you remembered your grandmother singing then. Was that when she lived with you?
Yeah. Well, not only this grandma, my other grandmother, you know. Yeah, I had two grandmothers. They both lived in the same city, but one lived in our house and the other one lived not far away. And we saw them almost every day, and especially on Shabbat. We used to go to the grandmas, to the grandparents, for Shabbos Obst.
It's Shabbos Obst.
But they came to visit Shabbos, and the grandmothers served you fruit. They gave to the grandchildren some fruits.
Like what kind of fruit?
Fruits, apples, pears, whatever there was in season. Grapes, some other kind. No, grapes were not so in Poland. The climate was not for grapes, you know. This grows in warm climates more. But there were also different kind of that used to grow on bushes. Strawberries we used to have. And, I don't know how they call it here. I don't see it here even. There used to be such little ones. It was like cranberries.
Really? And they were sweet?
They
or
were
like
red and sweet. Not very sweet, but they were good.
Did they have pits inside?
Maybe they had some little pits, but they were so small. They swallowed the whole thing. These were growing a lot. And apples and pears. peaches, I don't remember much. Oranges did not grow in Poland. They was all imported. I guess from Italy or other countries. Bananas. So fruit was really something big. We ate mostly for Shabbat. And the sweet stuff was not so... there was chocolate and candies. But the children didn't eat so much sweet.
Not like us who eat ice cream for breakfast.
No. There was ice cream in the summer.
There was ice cream?
Yeah. But in the summer. It was cold in the winter. Nobody ate ice cream.
Which makes sense. Do you remember if your cousins came also when you went for the Shabbos to your grandmother?
Yeah, sure. Everybody's children came, you know, I mean from the family. My cousins and
Were you friends with your cousins?
Of course, we lived not far away. We all lived in the same town.
Were there cousins who were close to your age?
Yeah, they had all ages. They had 6 children by Razel, you know them. They had 6. She was not my friend. Her youngest sister was my friend.
This is Reisel's sister.
Yeah.
How much older is Reisel than you?
3 or 4 years.
But she had a sister who was your age.
She had a sister my age. And then she had 2 younger brothers and older brothers. She was older. She was the second. There were 6 children by then.
Right. So which of your... So was Reisel's... What was Reisel's sister's name?
Rivka.
Rivka. So was Rivka your cousin that you were the closest friends with?
Yeah, we were in school together.
She also went to basic school?
Yeah.
And were there other cousins who you went to school with also?
Not from this family, no. From my other family, from Hannah's sister was my age too. He had one sister my age.
And you were friends with her?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Ruchela.
So the 3 of you all went to school together. And Reisel's sister and Hanoch's sister, Ruchela and Rivka, were they cousins? They're also cousins?
Not first cousins.
They're both more related to you than to each other?
Yeah, right.
Were they friends also?
Yeah, sure.
So did the 3 of you hang out together as a group?
Yeah, we were in school together. We had
Hanoch's sister, Ruchela, and Reisel's sister, Rivka. And you were saying that the 3 of you were friends in school.
Yeah, we were together.
And did you have other cousins who were also your age? Did you have any boy cousins who were your age, or it was all girls?
No, these girls were my age. I had cousins, but I had one uncle who lived in Lodge. And he had children, but I didn't see them much. They used to come in the summer.
This was Savta's brother?
No, Saba's brother.
Saba's brother, who lived in Lodge. Wait, but how did you didn't know Saba?
Saba, that's my father, right?
Oh, your father, not Saba.
No.
Leib.
No.
Okay.
No, my father's name was Leib too.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
His name was Leib Lenchinsky. So he had a brother who was living in Lodge. Who had children.
An older brother, yes.
So he had older children,
Older
probably.
children, yes.
So you knew them, but not so well.
Well, I didn't see them very often. Because from us to Lodge was an hour's drive by car, but those days we didn't have a car.
Right. How did you get there when you went?
By bus, I think. I went with my parents when they went, they took me, but not very often. They used to come to us in the summertime when they had vacation. Yeah, I had an older cousin. Her name was Hanna also. Yes, but she was older than me. And then there was she had a younger sister. She was like my sister's age. Yeah. But during the war, we were together. They came to us.
They came to you?
Yeah.
When did they? So, in the months right before 1941, before the Germans invaded Poland.
1939.
Right. Sorry, in 1939. Right. In Belarus, it was in 1941. So I have that date stuck. So before 1939, like in the end of 1938, were people talking about the Germans invading at all?
I was too young to know politics. But I guess after they invaded Czechoslovakia before Poland.
Right.
So people were probably that they were thinking about it. That Poland will be next. But, children didn't know so much politics those days. We didn't have television or even radios. So that we was not interested in news. What was happening.
Do you remember people trying to get out of Poland then?
I wish they would get out, then many wouldn't be left. But I guess when it happened in Germany, when the Germans started up with the Jews over there, people were aware of what the Germans could do to Jews. But I was too young to know all these things, But when the war started, a lot of people came from Germany. If they had family in Poland, they came to Poland. They came back.
This was before September of '39, even earlier than that.
Yeah. And so some people came to our town, but they had family. And they used to live in Germany. The children were born in Germany. But after the Crystal Night, whoever could get out, they left Germany. A lot of them got sent out, I guess, to camps already those days. Germans. I don't know very much about this, only what I saw when they came to us.
So what do you remember in the beginning when the Nazis first came into Poland, the first day, let's say, that they came in?
It was very bad. They came, I think, was a Friday, September 1st. And right after they attacked Poland, they came maybe 2 days later to our town.
Where was your town geographically? Was it very far west?
It was not very far from the German border. It was not far from Poznań. Poznań was like part near German border. So people started running away from the border towns. And a lot of people passed through our town. And then when the Germans were advancing, then we were running away. A lot of people were in our house.
Before the Germans got to your town?
Right.
Like which kind of people? People that you knew? Or
No, people were running. They didn't know where to go. They were running wherever the Germans were not there yet. They were running.
Was this Jews and non-Jews who were running, or just
Jews. So they came to us. A lot of people came, and then we were running away to the next little town.
Including everyone who's in your house, isn't it?
No, our family. And the other people also, they ran but they ran separately. We didn't know where we were going. We were going to the next town where the Germans were not there yet. And some people took us in. There were no families of ours, but everybody knew the Germans are coming. And we stayed there, I don't know how long, not very long.
Was this your whole family, like including your grandmothers?
Yeah. And we stayed there not long. And then after a few days, when the Germans were there already, we went back to our town. And on the way going back, they arrested all the men.
Any men who were walking through? You were on foot?
Yeah. And they arrested my father, my grandfather, my uncle, all the men that were with us. And some other people, you know, that were not related. And they took him away. And they let us go, and they took them away. We didn't know where they're going to take them.
What were they saying when they arrested them?
I don't remember what they were saying. They weren't telling us where they're going to. But as for I think they arrested them as Gefangene. They were prisoners of war, right.
Was it any males or just Jewish males?
Just Jewish males. Because that's what were going, they were all Jewish. And we came home, but the men didn't come home.
Did you know where they were being
And we
taken?
didn't know where they were taken. After a while, I think we got some mail through the Red Cross that they were arrested as prisoners of war. And then we found out where they are. It was already, at that time it was the holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and they were not home. Then my mother found out where they are, and she went there. It was near Krakow, Poland.
How far was that from your town?
That was far from us. She went by train and by I don't know how she went. She smuggled herself, and she went to that camp there. She couldn't get in, but she found out my father was there, my grandfather was there, my Shia was there, my cousin, his father was there, whoever was. And my mother went, when she went, she took some money and some gifts, you know, to bribe somebody, so she could do something, maybe. And she got lucky, and she got in, and she took out all of them. She took him out, my father, my grandfather, my cousins, and she brought them home.
What type of a camp was it?
It was a camp. It was like a concentration camp. It was not like Auschwitz, but it was a bad camp. They were on this camp a nice few weeks. Then she brought them home.
Were they doing like forced labor in the camp, or?
I guess they were using them to do some labor, yes. And the conditions were very bad and dirty, and they had a lot of lice. Because they were dirty, they had no, I guess they didn't bathe or do anything.
Were they given prison clothing, or they were wearing their own clothing?
They didn't have any, no. They wore the same clothing, but when they were arrested. My mother brought them home. My grandfather, he was a sick man. And he was only praying to come home and to die in his own bed and to see the grandchildren.
This is your mother's father?
Yeah. And when he saw us, he couldn't believe that it's real. that he can see his grandchildren. And he was sick for a while, and then he died. It was already during the war, and it was in the winter time already.
In the winter of 39?
1940, in the beginning, you know. It was 39, right, the end.
Right.
Yeah.
And was he still in Varta then?
Yeah, he was still in Varta. And I remember the funeral. It was cold, winter snow. This I remember. We went to the cemetery. Now after the war we came back and we wanted to see where he was buried. We couldn't find a place. Put up a matseva, but not a real one, like only from wood.
When he was buried, the first? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we couldn't find it when we came back. Because the Germans, they made a mess of the cemeteries. Now I hear the cemeteries are fixed up. But when we came back in 1945, we couldn't find any matsevas there and nothing. Not in the graves. Could you tell that it was a cemetery?
Huh? Could you tell that it was a cemetery, or?
Yeah, well, we knew it was a cemetery there. But, Razel was 2 years ago in Poland, and she said she found the matseva of her mother.
Really?
Her mother died before the war, a few years before. And she found the matseva. Wow. When we were in 45, we couldn't find anything.
Was her mother's matseva made of wood also?
No. At that time it was a real matseva, from stones. But we couldn't find any. And we came back in 45. But now, but you went, no, not you, your mom went to Sosnovitz.
Yeah.
To find, Grandpa's parents, Grandpa's grandparents, because his parents were killed by the Nazis, so there is nothing there. But she couldn't find anything either. I don't know. Daniela, stop. Okay.
Okay. So you were telling me about how Savta was able to get them out of this camp that they were working in. And I think you said that they were doing work there. They were doing.
I guess they were doing. They wouldn't keep him.
Do you remember what, while your father and grandfather were in the camp, do you remember what it was like in Varta? Were there Germans actually living in Varta, and how did things change when they were there?
Oh, there were Germans, of course. They occupied Poland. Right in the beginning, I don't know, by us they came in right in the beginning of the war. And then they were still fighting, Polish soldiers. But it took only maybe 1 week and all Poland was occupied. The Polish army ran away and the Germans took over everything. And in the beginning we still lived in our own house. But they confiscated our business. They put in like a Treuhändler, I don't know how, somebody that he managed the business, Volksdeutsch, Germans. I mean Poles, they became Volksdeutsch. There were a lot of Poles that were coming from Germany,
Like that they had moved to Germany and then they came back to Poland, or they were?
They were Poles which helped out the Germans.
So they were like Polish collaborators.
Right,
with the Germans.
right. And also there were a lot, but they came from German parents. They were called Volksdeutsch. and they put in one like manager.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever business we did, we had to give it to the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
He was overseeing.
Where did he live? Was he living in your house or someplace else?
No, not in our house. He lived in somebody's house. I don't remember where. But there were a lot of Germans, not only one. And a lot of Poles helped them out. But we were not in the ghetto yet. We still lived in our own house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not so bad. We had food. We were restricted. You couldn't walk everywhere.
There were certain places that you couldn't go, or
Yeah, you couldn't go out of town. But in 41, we had to move out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
They only had like a small part of the town what was made into a ghetto,
Mm-hmm.
where the Jewish people lived.
So between 39 and 41, the Germans were invading, but you stayed at home. Somebody confiscated your business in 39 already?
In the beginning, yeah, well, the war broke out in September, and I would say, yeah, in about like the end of 39, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how were you making money if you were giving the Germans all of your...
We were not making much money. We got some to live on. Then we had to move out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved into the part where the ghetto was. And it wasn't that part where my grandmother lived.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a big courtyard and houses or apartments all around.
Mm-hmm. It was apartment buildings.
Yeah. And the whole section there was the ghetto. A few streets, they were ghettos.
Was it an area that there had been a lot of Jews living in before?
Yeah, yeah.
And so what did the people who weren't Jewish who were living in that area do? Did they stay there?
No. They took over the Jewish houses.
Mm-hmm.
Our house, two Polish families lived there. And they took everything away. They took our furniture, they took all our possessions.
I think you said 2 days ago that when the Germans came in, they took away your bike.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Was that in 39 when they first came in?
Yeah, yeah.
How did that happen? Did they come to the house?
They took them, you know, sure. They announced that you have to give to them whatever you have. They took our dog away.
Really?
Yeah. I think they killed it right away or something. And all they took, we couldn't take anything with, any of the furniture. So we took things, yeah, like clothing and what we could take out. We took with us when we went to the ghetto. But no furniture, no. And we lived with other people. Everybody in the ghetto that lived before in that section had to share the apartments, you know. Like we got one room.
So whose apartment did you move into?
Whose apartment? I don't know. My grandmother lived there before. And we got some part of somebody's apartment. It was also part, we were like, a lot of these parts of this building belonged to us, to our family, you know.
To your immediate family or to your
to my extended family, to the grandparents. So everybody had to share. And that's where we lived till we went to the ghetto, till they sent us out from the ghetto. So they liquidated our ghetto.
How was the ghetto in Barta separated from the rest of the town?
They had there was not barbed wires, but they were guards. They were Jewish guards. They had to watch. For the Germans they worked. I mean, they were like police. There was set up a Jewish committee. They had a Judenälteste there. One man not one man, they were, I don't remember how many people they were in charge of it. Like in Lodzi Ghetto, there was Rumkowski, he was the main. And in our town, there was also like a committee of people. There was a president and a vice president and a policeman. They wore special these things. He was wearing the yellow star.
When did you start wearing the yellow star?
Well, right away, after
Before
the
the
German.
ghetto.
Before the ghetto. Yeah. Right, before the ghetto, but in the ghetto already, yes. And then they started deporting a lot of men. Every few weeks they took out young men and sending them away.
And did people know where they were going?
Nobody knew, but at that time they were taking him to Arbeitslager, to working camps.
In Poland?
In Poland. They took him mostly to Poznań. They had camp. And then later on they were sending them to Germany, to camps. Like he was one of the first to be sent out. They took young men. Later on they took even older men, like my uncle. They took my two uncles. They took him out and sent them away. We didn't know where they were. And they took a lot of men, but only men. And it got worse and worse every time something else. One time they took some women also. They took him somewhere out of town, and they were saying they were shot. They shoot them. And then I don't remember what year it was. They made. They took everybody out in the marketplace, and they picked out 10 people, and they hung them.
They brought everyone from the ghetto into the marketplace?
Yeah.
And were they worried that people were going to run away from there?
No, people wouldn't run away, but we did not go. We were hiding. We didn't go there. At that time they took the rabbi from our town and his son, and the one that was in charge of the Jewish committee. And they took 10 men. They had the most important men in town. They wanted my father. They were looking for my father too, but my mother was hiding him. She didn't let him go.
Where did you hide?
We hid it in the basement somewhere. And they hung 10 men. They hung the rabbi's son first, and then the rabbi.
And they just kept the bodies in the town?
Yeah.
In the market square?
Well, they buried them later, but yeah, 10 men. I didn't go. My mother didn't let the children go. We were hiding.
Did your mother go?
No.
So she hid the whole family?
She hid the whole family, yes.
Did other people also hide?
Yeah, but a lot of them had to go wherever the Germans came to the houses. Whoever they found, they took him out to watch.
Right.
To watch this.
And were people in the...
This was shortly before they deported us.
How many people were in the Varta ghetto at the beginning?
I don't know how many. But they were most of the Jews that lived in Varta.
It was only Jews from Varta, or were there Jews from
And from other places, the ones that came into Varta, and they stayed with families.
Mm-hmm.
So also, like my uncle from Lodz, he came in with his family, he stayed with us. So he also was stuck in, he came to us when they were closing the Lodz ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
So they came to us.
The Lodz ghetto was formed before the Varta ghetto was formed.
Yeah. But shortly after they made the ghetto in our town. But my uncle and his family came before they closed the Lodz ghetto.
Did people in the ghetto, in the Varta ghetto, work during the day, or what did people do there?
Yeah. Then the Germans made shops
Inside the ghetto?
inside the ghetto. Like my grandmother, she was a seamstress. She had her own shop, you know. She was. So they made her like a forelady, and she had people that were working. We used to make for the Germans, like uniforms for the Germans, aprons, other things. And I was working there too. My grandmother taught me how to sew on a machine.
So you learned how to do work?
Yeah.
And did anyone get paid for the work?
I guess they paid something because we had to buy some food and stuff. But I don't remember really how much or what.
Did people have food? Were people in the ghetto starving, or people still had food then?
And Varta ghetto was not so bad yet because we still could manage. We could do with the Poles something they could bring around, not legally, but we got some rations.
From the Germans?
Yeah. And we had our stock. I mean, we stocked up on food. We knew we won't have much food. But we ate mostly potatoes and bread if we could get it. And that's how it was till 1942. They deported us. Then they made the Siedlung, the selections, you know.
This was for the deportation?
Yeah.
So in 1942, everyone in your family was still living in the Varta ghetto together? All of your siblings and your father?
Till August. Now I have the Yahrzeit next week. From the deportation from our town. Then they took everybody, all the Jewish people had to gather in the marketplace.
All the people who had been inside the ghetto?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said before that the people in the Jewish committee were the ones who stood guard around the ghetto. Who appointed them? Were they self-appointed, or did the Nazis appoint them? And how did people, were they considered like good for the Jews or bad? Were they working with the Nazis, or?
Well, they were working not with the Nazis, they were working for the Germans. They were responsible, nobody should get away. There was a Jewish policeman, but they had no weapons, they had no, but on top of them there was SS, which they were really watching us.
Did they appoint themselves? Did they offer to do this work, or the Nazis just picked people randomly?
Well, there was a Jewish committee. They picked the committee.
The Nazis picked
the Nazis, yeah.
Based on what?
They knew how German, they were mostly German Jews, which came from Germany to our town. So they were, but then they were hung. these top people.
Mm-hmm. Were they helping the Jews more, or were they really following Nazi orders the whole time?
They were following the Nazi orders. They couldn't. I mean, they didn't do specially on their own what they wanted to do. They had to follow the Nazis, what they ordered them to do. And after that, after they hung those 10 people, then they made this Ziel, the Aus, what do you call it in German? And they called everybody. I told you, they took us all out on this marketplace, and they selected. And they selected. We didn't know what they're going to do with us. So they picked me and my mother and my father on one side, my sister and brothers and my grandparents, aunts and uncles on the other side. And they put them in one church, and us they put in another church.
Inside of Varta?
Yeah, in the church.
How did people react to being taken to churches?
How did people react? People were hysterical. What do you mean, how? We wanted to go, we should be together. And my father wanted to go with my sister and brothers. And he went. He didn't want to go. You know, he wanted to be with the children. But they didn't let him. They sent him to me, my mother. We should go together. And my mother wanted to go back also to be with the family. They didn't let us. And they put us on buses. After we were in the church for a night, I guess.
Overnight you were in the church?
Overnight, yeah. Or maybe 2 nights. I don't remember really.
At that point, did you know that you were, when you left the ghetto, when you were taken into the town square, did you know you were going to be taken somewhere? Did people bring things with them, or?
We didn't bring, we brought, maybe we had something with us. Heraus, you know, they came in, the Germans, house. And they told us they will send us to working camps. And the children, they will send to a children's place. They will be taken care of. We shouldn't worry, everybody is going to be happy and everything is going to be fine. Did you believe that? We heard rumors from other towns that happened before. So we heard that they were sent, that the children and older people were sent to the gas chambers. But nobody wanted to believe it, you know. It's just saying. They know that the Germans are not going to do that. So when they sent us, they put us in buses. And they took us to the lodge, to the ghetto. We didn't know that time that we were going to the ghetto. But after, I don't remember how long we were in the buses. 1 day or more.
What kind of buses were they?
They were like trucks.
That were...
For cattle.
Where were the trucks from? For cattle?
Well, they were big trucks, like army trucks, I guess. Yeah.
And they were German army trucks? Or they were Polish trucks that the Germans took over?
German. Yeah. And then they brought us to a lodge, to the ghetto. And we came to the ghetto. They put everybody in a camp. It was called Czarnieckiego.
Sorry, how does it?
Czarnieckiego.
Czarnieckiego.
Yeah.
It was inside of Lodz Ghetto? It was a camp?
The camp was like on the... It belonged to the ghetto, but this was a camp. It was like for they gathered the people from all the towns and from other places, and they put them in a camp.
Anyone who wasn't originally from Lodz was put into that camp?
The people that lived in Lodz?
Right.
No, the people that lived in the ghetto already lived in the ghetto. There was the ghetto already before we came in. And then before we came into the ghetto, they had a selection of people from the ghetto which they sent out to Auschwitz and, and to gas chambers to kill them. But when we were in the ghetto, in Czarnieckiego, then we had to get some place to live. They didn't keep the people there to stay. They brought them into the ghetto, and the ghetto, you had to find an apartment.
So you worked in this camp, but you slept in
No, we didn't work in that camp.
You were just living.
This was just a peasant, but it was just a.
They brought you there originally. You stayed there for a little while, and then you went into the ghetto.
Right.
So do you remember how long you were in that camp for?
Not long, a few days maybe. Then we had to find a place where to live.
Right. Was it men and women together in that camp?
Yeah.
And you lived in.
We were
bunks,
together with.
Barracks.
It was like one very big place. Sleeping on the floors, and we got. Then we found a place where to live. One room somewhere, where it was the ghetto already.
This was you, your mother, and your father only.
Yeah. And there were also other friends that were together with us from the town. We all were looking to find something to live. And we found some place. One room with a bed. And that's where we lived. And from there, then we got jobs. We were appointed to working places.
How did they decide who worked in which places?
Well, they asked, what can you do, what do you want? And me, they sent to a shop. I was working on a machine. I said I can sew, so they sent me. Sent my mother also.
To the same place?
To the same place.
And your father?
And my father, they sent to another place, to a laundry.
With what?
A laundry, to a laundry, where they were sorting out the clothing what they brought from all the people, whatever they sent to the ghetto from other places. They sent people's clothing. And they were sorting out this.
How big was the Lodz ghetto? How many people was it?
Oh, when it first started, it was a lot of people, more than 100,000. Yeah, more. Lodz alone was a big city.
Right.
But they sent out a lot of people from the ghettos. They kept sending out, and people were dying out. So at the end, I don't know how many people there was in the ghetto. When we came in 1942, and after we had already the apartment, and we had already workplaces, a few weeks later they were taking people again. They were making selections. And when we found out they're going to be in this part today, tomorrow in another part, so and it was the ghetto it had a bridge to go over from one street to the next. You heard about you didn't read it?
Yeah, no, I did.
There was a bridge.
It's a walking bridge, right?
Yeah, to walk up.
Narrow.
Yeah, just for the people to cross over from one part. Under the bridge there was not ghetto, there was the Polacks. Yeah.
How was the ghetto separated from how was the Lodz ghetto separated from the rest of the city?
By bridges.
But was there a wall around it?
It was wires, yeah. Sure. We lived by the wires, you know. In front of us there was a German police all the time. Yeah. One time my mother went out to shut the shutters. We had shutters in the windows. And the police was, pointing. They could shoot. They could do whatever they wanted. But we lived by the wires.
Did anyone
Because this part belonged to, the people that lived there in the ghetto, they lived there before the war. A lot of Jewish people lived there before.
Did anyone
Like the Korns, Korns.
From Bell Harbor?
They're not from Bell Harbor. They live in Borough Park. Shlomo Korn. You heard his name. Minja. You know Minja?
Yeah.
Her cousin.
That's her cousin.
It's her first cousin, yeah. He's
Is
my
Minja
family.
Also from Lodz?
Minja's family, Minja's father came from Lodz, yes. But they lived in Varta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They lived
Minja's family lived in Varta?
Yeah.
So you were, how, is she your age, or
she's older than
She's
me.
older than you?
2 years.
So were you friends with her before the war?
Yeah, look, it was a small town, and everybody knew everybody. In the ghetto, we lived on the same street.
In the Varta ghetto?
Yeah.
Minja's family lived on the same street as yours?
Yeah. So it was her first cousin that he lived before the war, where the ghetto was.
So her family moved into that house?
So her family, she was not in the ghetto.
She wasn't in the ghetto?
No.
Where was she?
She ran away.
By herself?
They had a plan, her family, that they gonna, if they're gonna send out the Jews from Varta, her family is going to hide. And they had a plan to meet there and there by the bridge. Varta had a river, and we had like 3 bridges. So they had a plan to meet by the Toyd Bridge. Okay, and they sent her out first. And she went out and waited there for the rest of the family.
Was she the oldest?
No, she was almost one of the youngest. In the meantime, her family was taken out by the Germans.
Into the Varta ghetto?
Out of the Varta, when they were closing the Varta ghetto.
Oh, when they were liquidating the
When
Varta
they were
ghetto.
liquidated.
So this was already at the end. So she was living in the Varta ghetto
Yeah,
during the whole time?
yeah.
And so how did she run away? She just escaped?
She just, she was a young girl. She had long pigtails. She looked with a kerchief. She looked like a shiksa. And they were friendly with one of the Germans. They bribed him. She went out, and the rest of the family was supposed to come. In the meantime, they took her family out from their house to the marketplace,
And they put them in the
and they
churches.
put him away. They took him away. One sister survived. One sister was taken to the ghetto.
Together with your family?
Yeah.
And the rest were in the other
And her
churches?
father and mother there were 6 children by them. They were all killed by the Germans. And she waited, and they didn't show up. And she didn't know what to do, She was a young girl. And she was running. She heard that they sent everybody out. Nobody was left anymore. So she was walking and walking and walking until she walked into a Polish house. And she told them a story. She didn't tell them that she comes from Varta because they would recognize her. And she told them a story that she comes from a town someplace near the Russian border, and she doesn't know what happened to her father and mother, and her name is, she gave a Polish name, Zosia something, and the family took her in, and she stayed there till the end of the war, and the family didn't know who she was. She never told them.
Really?
Until near the end. She told them, and they knew her family, you know.
Really?
Sure.
Were they friends with her family?
Well, they were one of these Polacks, one of them was a doctor in town, Dr. Neumann. And he was living in Warta, and they all knew them. You know, they were they had a business, a hardware business. So they knew them, they did business with them. I mean, it was a small town, everybody knew everybody.
Right.
So that was the story with her family. And she stayed there by the Polacks, and she worked.
She worked for the family?
She worked for the family. She worked in the field. First they put her to work, they were rich goyim, they had a lot of land. And they assessed that the Germans used to come in there. And she was so frightened because the same assessment that was good with them, but they bribed him. He used to come in there. And every time he was coming, she tried not to be in the house. He shouldn't recognize her. She had to put on a cross. And she was, she told those goyim that she comes from that town, and she didn't know what to do. She was walking, and then she got lost, and her parents were killed or whatever. She told them the story, and they believed her. She spoke a good Polish, and she was a good worker. And she told them that she doesn't eat meat. She didn't eat meat the whole time she was there. And they liked her. She was a good worker. In the beginning she was doing on the field work, and they saw her, but she's not very good in the field.
Well, she had probably never done that type of work
Never done this before. So they gave her another job, like in the house, to do things. And they kept her like their own child. They really liked her.
So you said she told them that she was Jewish at the end of...
At the end, yeah. She wanted to go to see the Lodge ghetto, because she heard that everybody else was sent out to the ghetto, she thought. And one day they took her and she looked around there, but she couldn't get in to see anybody.
This was when the Germans were still occupying Poland?
Yeah.
So it was before the war even ended?
Before it ended, yeah.
And so Minya, the family Minya was living with, took her to Lodge?
Yeah.
How did they react when she told them she was Jewish?
I don't know. She told them they were Jewish. She was Jewish was already at the end of the war. No, Poland, the war finished in January 45, where she was. Where we were in Germany, it finished in May.
Right.
Much later.
Right.
Where my father was in camp, it was in 45 in beginning, in January. That's when they shot him. Because the war finished in January.
Right. So she told them that she was Jewish, and were they angry at her? Was the family that Minya was with angry at her for?
No, just the opposite. They were proud that they saved somebody.
Really?
Yeah. And anyway, that's what happened to her.
Yeah.
Now we were in the Lodge ghetto, and we worked.
You were saying something about crossing over the bridge.
Oh yeah, A short while after we came into the ghetto, they made a selection. And everybody had to come out of the houses and gather in one place. And then they selected. This one goes here, this one goes there. So we heard about it. And my mother says, no, we're not going to go. We just came through one selection. We're not going to go another selection. And we found out across the bridge on the other side, they already selected there. And there was living somebody from our town. They lived in the ghetto.
Bar together with you?
No, they lived from before the war.
In Lodge?
Yeah. And so we went over the bridge and we came to their house and we stayed with them until they finished selecting from our neighborhood, you know. Because they didn't take the whole town in one time. They had sections. Today they do here, tomorrow they did there. The same thing, you know. Hannah's brother lived in Israel. He came to the ghetto with two sisters. Two young.
From the selection in Varta.
From Varta, yeah. And he went to this selection and they picked his two sisters. They took him away. And him they left. And you know, and he had one hand missing. He lost one hand he was in the Polish army when the war broke out. And he lost one arm. And him they didn't take, and the two healthy, nice girls, 17, 18 years old, and they took them away. And he survived the war, you know. He was in Auschwitz with one hand, and in a camp, and he survived. He just died 2 years ago.
Did he hide? Did he try to hide his hand?
I don't know how, and I don't know how they didn't see it. He was just Bashir to live. I don't know. And he survived the war. He got married after the war. He has children. They all live in Israel, in Haifa. And his two sisters, normal sisters, they were maybe 2 years older than me, beautiful girls. And them they sent away. It was so many tragedies, so many tragedies. So after we came back the next time morning, let's say, from this, we went to work again.
So you went, every time you ran away from a selection, after the selection was over, you came back to where you had been living originally?
Every once in a while, new selections. But this one was a big one, because they told everybody to come out. They took out many times people, but not like they had together all in one place. You know, they came to houses, they said, or they gave Rumkowski an amount, you have to give me so many, so many.
Right.
This week you have to give me so many. So they sent in the SS to pick out how many people they were.
And what did people think about Rumkowski and the rest of the Judenrat?
Well, they didn't think very well of him. He had his own clique, which he supported. They worked for him. They had it good. They had food and they had everything. There were Jewish couples and Jewish informers, you know.
Did they have any weapons, or they just the capos, the Jewish capos? Did they have weapons?
Weapons? No, they didn't have weapons. The Germans would give them weapons. They were Jewish.
Right.
No, they didn't need weapons. But they were informers, and they, you know, showed the Nazis this one was a rich Jew and this one was a rich Jew. They took him away, and they took And the Jews had to tell them where they were hiding the money or other things. If they wouldn't tell him, then they would kill him right away. They killed him later anyway.
Right.
But that's what it was. It was.
And who picked the capos? Did the Germans decide who would become a capo, or the Jews themselves decided?
Yes, from Koski, he had his army. Yeah, he had a whole army that worked for him.
Did you ever see him?
He came into to Auschwitz the same time we came in.
Really?
We came with the same transport with him.
Right. It's the last one out of.
Yeah, out of the ghetto.
Right.
But there still were left over 500 people.
After you left.
Yeah, which were hiding. They didn't want to, they didn't.
But they were
go.
able to stay in hiding there.
They stayed in hiding, and then when the Germans found out, they found them.